veterinarian who saved this chimpanzee's life decided to personally return him to the wild. As the chimp turned around one last time to offer a heartfelt goodbye, it was clear this bond will never be forgotten. The cruelest thing fate could do, taking away the ability to run from the fastest animal on Earth. Thankfully, kind-hearted people exist. Crowds gathered to witness the heartwarming sight of rescued African penguins returning to the wild, free at last. Through the hard work of animal rights activists, these orphaned elephants now know what it feels like to roam freely again. During a flood, a stranded giraffe found itself trapped on a tiny island, surrounded by crocodiles. Rescuers, risking everything, found a way to save it and give it a second chance at life. Steps toward freedom are always the hardest, especially when the only thing you've ever known are the cold bars of a cage. Deforestation, this leopard found itself on the streets of Uttar Pradesh, India. Luckily, animal activists stepped in to return this magnificent creature to a safe place in the wild. Rescuing animals sounds beautiful, right? But what if the animal in question is a little less furry, a bit more toothy, and measures 3 meters long? Get ready for an adventure. Months of rehabilitation following a serious accident, this Florida panther is about to experience something it has long feared: freedom. And you won't believe the emotions that come with it. Meet Kevin, a man who's become a true friend to these lions. But now, it's time for them to return to their real family and reclaim their place in the pride. Picture this: over 1 million pigeons being released at once, soaring into the sky like a massive cloud of freedom. It's a sight you have to see to believe. Even the king of beasts, the mighty lion, gets emotional. After being caged for so long, this lion was moved to tears upon seeing the wide open plains of Africa again. Volga, Mega, and Messick are cubs who were abandoned by their mother. They fell into the hands of loving rescuers, who prepared them for an independent life in the forest. In Portugal, a 6-ton male elephant is being returned to his natural habitat. But before he can be free, rescuers need to find a rather large taxi to get him there. This condor needed a miracle to survive. Thanks to the hard work of rehabilitation specialists in Mendoza, that miracle happened. Now, just look at him soaring through the skies. Colorado witnessed history when 3 male and 2 female wolves were released into the wild, building a new wolf community in pristine nature. This moment changed the landscape forever. After nearly a year in rehabilitation, this green turtle is finally returning to the ocean. It's a moment of triumph, and with luck, it could live for another 80 years. Few stories have a happy ending when a Bengal tiger wanders into a settlement. But this time is an exception. Rescuers manage not only to protect the people, but also the animal itself. Not long ago, Havana, a sea creature, was tangled in plastic and near death. Thanks to compassionate rescuers, she now has a second chance to live her life in freedom. Look into the eyes of this fox, and you'll understand the stress captivity causes wild animals. Fortunately, it's in good hands, and soon it will be running free. This gray fox was accidentally injured while trying to escape from a trap. Fortunately, veterinarians at University Point were able to quickly treat his wounds and release him back into the wild. No creature should ever be kept in a cage. That's the motto of the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, which has successfully released countless animals back into the wild. When rescuers found this baby sloth, he couldn't stop crying. 2 days later, everything made sense when his mother finally appeared. They've been inseparable ever since. Meet Jana, Borja, and Quija Amur tigers, orphaned by poachers. After being rescued and rehabilitated, they're being released to join the last 360 of their rarest relatives left in the wild. Orphaned bears Brattle and Cooper not only needed rescue, but also survival lessons. Zoologists taught them how to forage, build shelters, and thrive in the wild. These sea turtles, strong enough to live in their natural habitat, are ready to embrace life in the ocean, thanks to specialists at the Amos Rehabilitation Center. Even baby goats can have an emotional reunion. Watch as this little one finds its mother after being lost, and they'll never be apart again. Watch this heartwarming moment as Simbad, a lion long caged, steps into the vast open space of his new life, overwhelmed by his newfound freedom. This eagle, after a daring rescue from a sewage drain, has been fully rehabilitated. Now it's ready to take to the skies once more, wings wide and free. You're about to witness the beginning of a new wild family, one that will thrive, not behind bars, but in the open wilderness where they truly belong. These chimpanzees endured 40 long years of medical experiments. Today, they finally taste the freedom that was stolen from them for so long. For 90 years, this bear has known only captivity. But today, she and her cubs are about to discover the wonders of freedom for the first time. Reintroducing an entire herd of bison into their natural habitat takes more than just opening a gate. A professional rescuer literally had to guide them home, one step at a time. Imagine spending 30 years in a lab as a test subject. That was the reality for these chimpanzees until today. As they step outside for the first time ever, their joyful embrace says it all. No creature should ever endure such suffering. In a heartwarming rescue, professionals launched a special operation to save a 5-day-old elephant calf from a muddy pond. Listen carefully. Its mother thanks the rescuers in the most touching way. While rescuing some orangutans, something went terribly wrong. A male, in a fit of rage, endangered both his fellow apes and the humans trying to help. Quick thinking was the only way to finish the mission. To get this 450-kilogram polar bear back home, pilots had to get creative flying low, close to the ground, to avoid waking the bear mid-flight. Thankfully, it woke up only after it was safely back in the wild. This is Hoover, the last survivor of 12 tigers saved from a cramped cage in a Peruvian circus. Thanks to volunteers, he now roams free, seeing the jungle and swimming in a lake for the first time. Who knew that removing an old sewer could save a life? This bear somehow ended up trapped inside, and without rescue, it might have been stuck there forever. Animal rights defenders took several years to rescue these two belugas from captivity, but it was worth it. Now these two beauties can live the rest of their lives in Iceland. Just a month and a half ago, this panda weighed only 60 kilograms. But after rehabilitation, this now healthy giant is ready for a brand new life in its new home. Imagine how desperate this poor Janet must have felt when she realized there was no way out of a 45-foot well. Fortunately, forestry department workers managed to free her in time. This baby falcon was abandoned by its mother. Luckily, it ended up in good hands who raised and fed it. Now, the time has come for it to take off towards a new life in freedom. Some little swans got stuck and not even their parents helped them. But this kind soul found a way to reunite the family. A massive effort from volunteers and foundations resulted in 25 sheep and browns being released into their natural habitat. Now they roam freely as they always should. Meet Saggy, Bobble, Siberia, and Simba baby marine mammals rescued by the Vancouver Aquarium. After months of rehab, it's time for them to explore the vast ocean once again. Saving animals isn't easy, but thanks to the dedication and skills of professionals, these wolves are back where they belong in the wild. A stroke of luck brought a photographer to this eagle in need. Without hesitation, he stepped in to rescue the bird and helped it return to the sky. For the first time in over 400 years, the Eurasian beaver has returned to the wild in Fourier Valley, creating a brand new habitat. Real-life superheroes come in all forms, even as owls. This remarkable bird overcame the odds, and now he's flying free once more. For 13 years, this lion knew only the confines of a small circus cage. But now, for the very first time, it feels the grass beneath its paws and tastes true freedom. This leopard was saved in a life-saving operation, and now it can't wait to seize this second chance, a brand new opportunity to live the life it was always meant to. Though not fully healed, this lion senses something incredible. As the path to freedom opens before him, his eyes light up finally, the chance he's been waiting for. This might just be the angriest fox in the world, and rightfully so. But there's only one thing that could shift that attitude: freedom. Think animals don't feel emotions? Just look at this mother pig and her 6 little piglets rescued from a slaughterhouse. They're experiencing freedom for the first time in their lives, and they're literally jumping for joy. These wild horses were never meant to live behind fences. Now, with the barriers removed, they can finally run free, with no limits holding them back. There are only 110,000 giraffes left in the world, about the same as the number of seats in Michigan Stadium. For these 4 giraffes, being returned to nature was more than essential. It was a lifeline. Just yesterday, this sea lion was on the brink of death, strangled by plastic waste. But today marks the beginning of a brand new life. A baby kingfisher, trapped in a dangerous area, could have met a tragic fate. Thankfully, a kind man stepped in, not only helping it escape, but reminding it of its newfound freedom. This lone hippo, saved from the clutches of poachers, now stands in a wildlife sanctuary. To him, it must feel like hippo heaven, safe, protected, and for the first time, truly free. National park officials had to resort to unprecedented security measures to safely release a rhino, a delicate operation with no room for error. At the end of the day, only the elephants were strong enough to carry the load. Their mighty strength ensured the success of the mission. For the first time in his life, this bear is thankful to be alive. Until today, he was confined to a cage so small that he couldn't even stand upright. Freedom at last. These 2 orphaned otters have waited a long time for this moment. Today is finally the day they're released into the wild, and judging by their joyful reaction, it's the best day of their lives. 5 sea lion cubs have just been released into the wild, where they'll begin their new life of freedom in the ocean. After a long winter indoors, these cows are finally stepping outside. For some calves, it's their very first time. Watch their joy as they leap around. Yes, cows can jump for joy. What an incredible journey of freedom and second chances. If these stories inspired you, give us a like and hit subscribe for more amazing rescues. Got your own animal story? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.